So the door. Well, this is the door. Everything has a story. Apart from the original story that it's the original door, there was a slight bit of damage up the front here. It was pushed in and it bowed a bit more than standard, and it had a dent all the way down there, and rust in the corners, really bad rust down the bottom. Had to replace the whole bottom. So I got an aftermarket skins, eventually got them from the UK. With everything so far with the aftermarket, you do have to tweak them. They're not like exactly the same as standard and all this. Well, these ones are great, apart from they're a little bit shallow. Like these cars are literally rounded around. This one actually gets worse over years. Like it's too rounded at the bottom, and it's all hanging out at the bottom, and it's got some dents in it, and the rust, of course, is pretty bad. So it'd be nice to get right on there, cut the skin right off, and give it the the zinc treatment and all the paint and that, and fix any rust. So I've done the frame on this one, and now I'm at the stage of what I call a cut and tuck. I've heard zipper, I've heard cut and butt. I suppose I've got to have my own name. I suppose it's called cut and tuck. It seems to be the obvious thing, but it's weld and cut and tuck. So I've got it tapped in all the way around. Got the door, tried the door in that position, fits, so I've banged it all the way around, pushed it up as high as I could. I had to trim down here so it can go down to the frame there, and the same at this end, which is pretty hard to figure out because of the curve in it. I couldn't push it down to find out where it was. I sort of had to imagine how much it was, and then after bending it over at the edge, that changed the measurement, and the gap was quite big, but it actually ended up with not a bad little gap actually, not a bad little gap, and it's going to go down a little bit further by the time I cut these, because that's the next step. So I'll probably start from this end, and I'll cut through the first couple, or the first one, see how it goes, and then I'll push this down, and where that tack was, I'll push it down, and where that tack was, I'll give it another tack in the same spot. Same thing there, all the way along. I'll just cut it and push it down, cut it and push it down. If I can cut it with just doing one and pushing it down, I'll be happy. And because I've watched people do it, and this way holds it all in position as you're doing it. So you're not gonna, you know where it's gonna go. It's in position. You've just got to do the cut, same thing all the way along. Push it down and butt it and tack it, butt it, tuck it. So that's the next step, getting it butted and tacked. Anyway, what was I talking? I was talking about the original, the aftermarket skins. Well, I wear glasses, so no matter what I look at, if my head up, things look shallow. If I look down, things look the other way. So if I look up, they look concave. If I look down, they look convex. So it was pretty hard for me to tell what the skin was. So I put a straight edge down it, and it's actually shallow. It's actually shallow. It's a flat, straight door. It's not curved like the around. But I'm not going to let it worry me. Because with the curves, you always seem to get worse, and you have to put filler around near the ends of them, near the A-pillars, to get them to look straight. When they curve like that, it's pretty hard to get them right. So it might be easier with them straight anyway. But I'll probably just have to skim it with filler anyway, just to bring it out that millimetre or so, whatever it is, millimetre, 2 millimeters, just to bring it out level, so it's at least sort of straight. But there is some tweaks. I could probably tap the ends in down a bit, because I stretched them out a bit before I put the skin on. So I'd probably bring them down a bit. That might help pull it out a bit, but I think that's all I'm going to have to live with that. It still looks good. I got brand new skins. The door frames are primered with zinc, and then etch primer, marine etch primer for steel, marine international, which I like that primer. It's a vinyl etch. It really sticks, really good. Pretty resistant to just about anything, chemicals, this, that and the other. And so I put that on, and then I just had some cans of undercoat, so I just sprayed an undercoat over it, gave it a little sand, and then I had a can of gloss lacquer, acrylic lacquer, so I sprayed some gloss acrylic lacquer over it all the way around on the inside of the skin and the inside of the door. So that should help keep the rust out of it. I'm really thinking if they did that in the factory, they probably would have lasted, eh? And I might even just like pour a little paint down the bottom so it fills the little gap down in there, that little gap. I might just pour some paint down there and fill that up. And then I'll have to do my drain holes, of course. Or maybe do the drain holes first. I've got a drain hole to do at each side. I didn't do them first because they have a little plate that goes around after the skin's on. So I thought I'll leave it till after because I don't want to weaken the bottom, put the skin on anyway, I might make it go off a bit. And put the skin on, so I'll drill the holes for the drains after we've done that and welded it all on. Yeah, I've got the holes in for the panel, the door panel. I sort of clipped the door panel in and just sort of did some felt pen marks where the little clips go, and then sort of rubbed them around and got an idea and scratched them where the hole was, and then drilled the holes. So that fits on now. There's a bit of movement in those clips anyway, so that goes on. So the next step is I'm just going to leave that for a little bit, go and have a little bit of lunch, and let that metal just realise where it's going to be and get back to it and do the cut and tuck, the cut and butt, or the zipper cut. Bad Chad calls it a zipper cut, isn't it? Okay, Marty over and out.